Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today we're talking Sex and the City movie. This is the final part of the first movie. Then we are jumping right over into movie 2 because boy do we all have a lot of opinions on that one. But first, let's get into this first one. So at the end of the last part, Miranda and Steve had just gone to counseling, and she's going to be explaining to Carrie the plan that they came up with. So let's get into it. But first, check out my merch link below. I got Midnight Toast, Justice for Steve. It's a load of pants. Or find me on Patreon. It's patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. So crazy Carrie outfit alert, because what is she wearing here? The blue doesn't bother me, but the knee socks, I don't understand. So Miranda's explaining that if both she and Steve show up on the same Brooklyn Bridge at the same time, like that means that they've made a promise that they're going to work this out and make it work. Okay, so Louise ends up telling Carrie she has two pieces of good news. The fancy apartment is about to sell and she's engaged. So she's going to be moving back to St. Louis and she's getting married in the fall. And Carrie gushes over it and says it's gorgeous. So on the day of the decision day for Miranda, she's made this whole pro-con list, just overanalyzing. Should she stay with Steve? What should she do? She jumps up to go meet him. She notices there's foam on her lip and decides, yep, that's all the sign I need. I'm going to go meet Steve. Now, this part infuriates me because I loved it in the original movie, and they make this deal that this is it. They're going to work out. They never look back, according to the movie itself. But then what happens in Just Like That? Never mind. Doesn't matter anymore. Steve can't hear, so it's totally fine. Totally justifies being an ass to him. Anyway, but I did like the scene in the movie. I remember being choked up about this. But yeah, it just totally... They took all the good out of this and they ruined it, and Just Like That. Okay, so meanwhile, back in Los Angeles, Samantha looking stunning, trying to figure out what's going on, back at the beach. She's reading books, nothing's working, hot neighbor alert. She sees him, her dog runs over to his house. I can't show you what all we get to see, but we get to see it all. We find out here his name is Dante, and she says, his name's Dante and I am in hell. So she can't shake the feeling that something's missing from her life, and when her dog baby runs up and she sees this, she realizes exactly what is missing from her life. She tells him, hey, I'm your next door neighbor. My dog ran up on your dick. And then she says, oh, Deck. He invites her to join. Okay, meanwhile, by spring, Carrie has a new apartment. It's time for the baby shower, and you guys, I hate this part of the movie so bad, what they did to our girl Kim here. Kim looks stunning, fantastic, gorgeous. And they have decided to put her in pants that were too tight, give her the teeniest bit of a belly, and have the nerve to discuss it. They are being such assholes, and they're just, they're saying these terrible things to her. They're staring and pretending like they don't notice. They talk about her pooch. I hate this. I hate this so much, and I'm honestly surprised Kim came back to the second movie because this is awful what they're doing to her. So they have her eating cake and just, it's just awful. She's saying she eats so she won't cheat. I hate this storyline so much. She's beautiful. She's fantastic. This is ridiculous. Okay, so she explains the reason she stays with Smith is because he's such a nice guy. He stayed with her through chemo, so she feels like she has to stay in the relationship for him. They all talk about when they're happy, and she's realizing, oh gosh, something is missing from this. So from here, we have her back at home in California, looking stunning. Smith comes in and says, oh, I thought you were going to stay for the week in New York. And she says, we need to talk. She's given it 5 years, 15 pounds. Again, I hate this storyline. She looks fabulous. That's ridiculous. She says, I love you, but I love me more. Now, that is Samantha. I get that. I think that's great. So she says that she needs to work on the relationship with herself, and someday he'll find a wonderful woman. So they end on really good terms. She tries to give him back the ring, and he says, no, you keep it. And she says every time she looks at it, she'll think of him. So we get these scenes of Samantha eating on the plane, and again, it's just more jabs. I just don't understand why the writers needed to do this to Samantha. It's ridiculous. I just think it's mean girl petty behavior from Michael Patrick King to Sarah Jessica Parker, all of them. I just think it's mean and petty. Okay, Louise is about to leave. She's going over things in Carrie's apartment because Carrie's clueless, and Louise has been responsible for organizing her life. I need a Louise in my life, I swear. Okay, so Louise says again, "You gave me Louis Vuitton. She says, don't forget your love keychain. And Louise says, I found love. It's your turn. You keep that. She says, I'll see you at my wedding. I'll see you in St. Louis. And that's it for Louise. Of course, Jennifer Hudson sings the song at the end of the movie. She's fabulous. I love her so much. Okay, a couple weeks later, Charlotte has lunch. She goes to lunch. She spots Big. He's dining alone. And the lady tries to get her something to drink. She says, no, I can't stay. Big sees her and she tries to rush out. Well, unfortunately, with the belly and trying to navigate, you can't take off running. He chases after her and says, wait. She says, I was always on your side, and you go do that to Carrie. She says, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to waste tears on you. I curse the day you were born. And I actually saw this at the theater, and I remember everybody cheering when she said that. As soon as she says it, her water breaks. So she tries to get a cab. Big says, no, get in the car. I'll take you to the hospital. And from here, that's when Carrie shows up. So she shows up. She does not run into Big during this time. He's not there. So Harry has the best line. He says it's his lot in life to be surrounded by beautiful women. Of course, we meet Rose. This is before we hate Rose from And Just Like That. Charlotte tells Carrie her water broke while standing outside of a restaurant talking to Big. So we find out from Harry that Big had asked for Carrie to call him. And he felt bad for him, and he said he'd tell her. Also, we find out he's been writing her love letters. And she says, I never got any letters. And he doesn't have your new phone number. And she says, he's never written to me. So dun dun dun, she goes home and she realizes, oh crap, it might be under Louise's password. So while I didn't mind this storyline at the time, what irks me is this is a recycled storyline and then Just Like That never went anywhere. Remember? She was trying to figure out Big's password, never could figure it out. Finds that picture of the damn dog we all thought that was going to be the password. Nope, doesn't go anywhere. But she's trying to figure out the password. She knocks off the mail. She sees the keychain that Louise had left her that says love. She types that in and bing, bang, boom. There you go. So he typed all the love letters out from the love letters from great men. Plus he added his own. And it just says, I know I screwed up, but I will love you forever. So during this time, Louise calls Carrie and she's trying on dresses. And she tells her that she remembers... Basically, she reminds Carrie that, oh, hey, you have to go back over to your new apartment. It's about to change owners. You need to go pick up those manila blahniks. So she goes over to that apartment. She hits penthouse. She walks in and dun dun dun, Big is there. She walks into the closet. He's there. He smiles when he sees her. And I always thought that was kind of a sweet moment. He genuinely seems to smile when he sees her. And he says, I was going to get you these. She says it wasn't logic, it was love. She runs over to him, they embrace, they kiss, they end up on the floor together, and they give apologies. So they talk about the funny part is that they were perfectly happy before they decided on forever after, and getting married. She says they better get up before the new owners bust in on us. As they're standing up, she stands up, he stays down on one knee and says... The way they decided to get married was all business and no romance. That's not the way you propose. So he ends up proposing to her. He doesn't have a ring to give her. So he puts some manila blahnik on her foot. Those famous blue ones that she ruined in the shower because Carrie's a jackass. But we see her and Big. She's wearing the original suit that she had picked out. And they're at the courthouse. They're exchanging vows. And it's sweet because they say yes. And then he whispers into her ear. That from that book of love letters, the ever mine, ever ours, ever thine, it's sweet. So they say, oh, that was perfect. We're so glad we got married like that. And he says, wouldn't it be nice to have the girls? And then he surprises her and says, that's why I called them. So they were at the courthouse waiting for her. And she says, well, it's not the fancy designer reception. And while she talks about that, we hear the Jennifer Hudson playing the song All Dressed Up in Love is playing. And they have reception at their spot. Everybody's there. Anthony, Stanford, all the girls, the families. And it's a nice moment. You get to see like Miranda and Steve getting along. We get to see Charlotte being happy. Harry's there, of course. And Samantha's happy. She's back in town. And it's just a nice moment. It's a nice way that they did this reception. So from here, Carrie's doing a reading from her new book. Now, I got to talk about this. I totally remember when this was in style, this weird neckline. That doesn't bother me so bad. I hate these glasses on Carrie. I don't think I've seen them before. I hate them. But then we have the girls out drinking martinis, and it's lovely, and it's so nice. Why do we ever stop drinking these? They're oldies but goodies. And during that, they celebrate Samantha's 50th birthday. A toast to 50 and fabulous. To us and the next 50. And they said that they enter the next phase of life all dressed up in love. And you guys, that's how the movie ends. Parts of it I really like, parts of it not as much, but Miranda's an ass. But I did. I enjoyed going through this. I enjoyed recapping it. I enjoyed learning little facts about behind the scenes stuff. It's been so much fun. And I'm ready to dive face first into that second movie because, boy, there's going to be a lot to talk about there. I actually haven't seen it in years and years, and the first time I saw it was my 30th birthday. My girlfriends took me. We all went to New York, and we saw it and got dressed up and had cosmopolitans talked about what an insane movie it was. So I can't wait to relay all those stories to you. I can't wait to talk through the second movie. I can't wait to learn behind-the-scenes facts. That's one of my favorite parts is just like learning what all went on during the filming and what all, went down. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited for it all. So thanks for sticking with me through this. I can't wait to dive into the next one. If you're interested in going back through the original series with me, I'm covering it on Patreon. Check that out. And I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.